Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and it is that time of year again. Not only is it the holiday season, which everyone so cherishes and loves, but it's also a unique kind of time of year where we need to recycle a little bit more these days. So, of course, we brought in our annual expert, Miss Carla Striegel-Winner from the Dubois County Solid Waste Management District. So welcome.
Thank you.
And we've got a lot to talk about various recycling, various habits, this, that, but you guys are going to be more into your busy season this year because you're accepting a specific type of item that is a little more seasonal and
That's
whatnot.
right. Yeah, that's right. And recycling is busy this time of year because people are getting new things, and so recycling in general is busy this time of year. So yes, but we have a special program. This is the 4th year in a row that we have been taking these holiday lights for recycling. It's the strands of lights, and those have wiring inside of them, and that's what's recyclable. So instead of throwing those away, we ask that people bring them to Rural King or to our process center to get them recycled. Mm-hmm. So, and it's absolutely free, and then they don't end up in the landfill. They get recycled and turned into something new. So
yes, and we love to see what old becomes new. And I'm not gonna say who it was, but I've seen some individuals who like to not only throw them in the trash per se, but I've seen some people like to throw them in a fire pit that they're currently using. So why should they recycle them versus disposing of them in a more fun or quick and easy way?
Right, yeah. So actually burning anything other than just straight wood is illegal in Indiana.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so that's illegal in Indiana, and the reason for that is because of all the chemicals that are released. And so it's not just bad for the pollution, but people that have asthma, etc. So burning is never a good idea. Always want to do a different option. But as far as recycling them instead of just throwing them in your trash bag, typically we have to pay to get rid of our trash, and this is a free program. So if you're just a cheap, tight German like I am,
fair enough.
It's free. So that's one reason. But also, it's just wonderful to be able to, the recycling economy, it's actually better for the economy to recycle, because then that stays in the circular economy of something getting turned into something new. So when we recycle these, it's not just our staff that's coming and picking them up from Rural King, but then we get them ready for recycling. We send them to a recycler, they bale them, send them to another recycler, and then they finally get made into some end product, which we don't know exactly what that is, but something to do with the metal that's in them. And so every single time that goes to the next person, that is part of our economy. So if they were getting thrown in the trash, that's just basically one thing, and it ends up in the landfill. So we're not only filling up our landfills, but it's not as good for the economy. So.
You explained.
That was probably a lot more detail than you were expecting.
No, but that's perfect because, in laywoman's terms, one stop, you're taking it from the trash into the landfill, it ends up there.
Yeah.
With this, the way that you recycle it, it goes through multiple steps. It keeps extending its life, and it's not just for the fact of using the lights, but it gets a new life, it gets a new use, a new purpose, and all that. So if you're looking for something a little more everlasting, I would definitely go with recycling. And of course, you mentioned it's free for our Dubois County residents, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have the barrels at the Jasper Rural King. So anytime they're open, you can just drop those off. We prefer that you just don't have them in like the boxes, etc. Just have the strands of lights. Again, it does not matter the size of the bulbs or anything like that. Those can stay on them. And anytime they're open now through mid-January.
Mid-January. And how about those lights that have the lovely metal frames to them.
Right, yeah, so this is for strands only, not for rigid frames. If you have a frame, a lot of times those frames are plastic, so that makes them a little harder to recycle.
Yes.
So if you can pull the, if you're a super recycler, because they are out there.
I would like to think I'm part of one, not completely.
If it's easy to pull them off the frame and just recycle the lights, and then you have to throw away that plastic frame. If it's a metal frame, then we can actually take that at the process center. So if you're, we have folks there, super recyclers, they're going to go out of their way to do whatever they can to recycle. For those folks, we can hopefully help you with that. But for this program, we can't be filling those bins up with like 3 rigid items.
Yes.
We have to have just the strands themselves. So
if people are hopefully thinking and scheming in their brains right now, if they're like, oh, I know we've got those really old lights that we got from Grandma and Grandpa about 20 years ago, we should probably get rid of them. Would it be worth it to, do a little house cleaning, go back up in the attic and get them so that they can bring them in?
Yeah, because when you have older lights, the older incandescent lights, they are more of a fire hazard. They take more energy to run, and they do create heat. Those, we get people that come and recycle those, whether they're working or not. So the older ones, and we get some that are much older than 20 years old. We have seen some real vintage ones come through, which are kind of neat to see, but they're dangerous to light because of the old wiring and such. So yes, it doesn't have to necessarily be ones that aren't working anymore. A lot of folks are switching to LED. Get in the attic and go up there and check out all those old strands of lights and bring them into recycle and get those taken care of.
And of course, at Rural King from now until mid-January, can they also come visit you at the recycling center?
Yeah, at the process center itself, yes. So we're at 1103 South, 350 West in Jasper, 8 to 1 Monday through Friday. We have one Saturday a month, but we don't do those hours in the winter. So that's why it's really nice that Rural King kind of partners with us. But yes, you can bring them out to the process center at any time. So especially if you're coming out with some of your other electronics from around the holiday season that you have, you can bring your lights with you when you come. So.
Speaking of which, on the fun tech stuff, we get into more user-friendly technology. You don't have to get up on the gutter hanging these things up. So in the lieu of Christmas time, you're getting new electronics. You have your old electronics. The cycle of what you need to do with that kind of continues. But the processing center has solutions for people here in Dubois County.
Right, absolutely, and that's what we're here for. We're here to serve all the residents of Dubois County. We do have user fees for the electronics that you bring in, but in Indiana, it's actually against the law to throw your electronics away. So we do recycle those. Of course, once again, it's better to recycle because you're creating jobs for people. It keeps going down, and that gets every step of the recycling process is a job for another person. So it's much better than landfilling anyway. But yeah, we take any kind of electronics from your TVs, old computers, old printers, but this time of year we see a lot with folks getting new TVs especially, but you can bring those to the process center at any time. We do have small fees for those. I won't get into exactly what those fees are now, but you can call us and find out what those are. Another program that we have that's year-round, because I know a lot of folks are getting new phones, new tablets. So at the libraries, we have a recycle bin, a red recycle bin at each of our county libraries. That's all 4 of the Dubois Jasper contractual library system, and then one at Huntingburg Public Library. So all 5 libraries in the county, we've got a recycle bin specifically for devices. So that's your phones, your tablets, and the cords that go with those. So if you don't see that in your local library, ask where it is. And those are absolutely free anytime that you need it. So
yes, of course, and the library is a resource for everyone. I definitely wanted to ask for those who are a little more timid of just dropping their old tablets or old phones off. You guys aren't trying to revive it and steal information, right?
That's right, absolutely. So the bins at the libraries, those are locked, and they stay locked. The library staff has a key, one key, and they unlock that. And when we come and pick up recycling at all of our libraries. So when we come and pick up the recycling, then we pick those electronics up as well. So then once they get to our facility, we basically put all of those in boxes as soon as they get into our facility. Then we deal with a company called Green Wave Electronic Recycling in Indianapolis. And once it gets to their place, they basically shred and get rid of everything. So, and I've taken tours of their facility. It's always good to know where your electronics are going. And so, we want to make sure that we have a safe environment for people's data. So yes, all of that is secure. And again, it goes right to that company after it goes to us.
Is that the same thing for if somebody wanted to bring you a computer or a laptop?
Absolutely, yes. Computers and laptops, anything that has the data, any of our electronics, that's the exact same process. But it goes straight to us, and then it goes straight to them, and you can look them up. They are a very secure company. They do government contracts and such. And like I said, I've visited their facility to make sure that they are on the up and up. So, yeah.
I have to ask those questions in today's world. Everyone is so very, very scared of these things. And if you're just here telling us the exact steps in which it takes, then it makes everything a lot easier.
Right. Yeah.
Which is what we would hope the recycling or processing center is able to do. I mean, you guys provide such a wide range of products that you recycle, of course, with fees when needed, because this makes jobs, and it takes a lot of people to do such.
Yeah. And so the reason that we charge fees, because solid waste districts are in most counties in Indiana. And they're all set up to work for the local community. So some do not charge user fees in the same way that we do. We are not supported by a tax base in Dubois County. So we basically are charging for the individual user. So the individual user has an item they need to get rid of. They help pay for that. Every year at the end of the year, I make sure that we're breaking even on what we're charged for those items to get those recycled, because we have a transportation fee to get up to Indianapolis. We're charged for certain things like TVs. So all of that, I just try to make sure that it breaks even. So the folks that need the service are paying for that service. And so that's kind of how we do it in Dubois County.
Which is fair enough. And as we kind of talked about, you don't have, yes, people here know that most of the time their trash is going to a certain landfill or whatnot. So in this way, your recycling is going to a certain place in Indianapolis, or I imagine you have a few places outside of that, but for the most part.
We have different places. Everything has its specialty and its special place that it goes. So our paper may go one place, our plastics go another place, our electronics go to the secure place in Indianapolis.
And that tells us that you, of course, care about all the recyclables that come into the facility, and you guys are doing your part to send it off to where it needs to go.
Yep.
So people need to keep that confidence, even if it's maybe not the easiest thing or the most convenient thing. Go recycle the lights. Go recycle your electronics after you get that new iPad this Christmas. I mean, there's no reason not to. And although keeping electronics has been good in the past, however, it doesn't need to sit in your drawer and just get dust on it.
That's right.
So, I mean, I try to be the most of a green fiend that I can possibly. So anytime you can reuse or just need to recycle it, I would advocate for that. So, Carla, if anyone wanted more information or wanted to contact you about any recycling they may have, what's the best way or best ways to reach out?
Sure. So we have our website, DuboisCountyRecycles.org, that has all our contact information on it. Our Facebook page also has all our contact information on it. And of course, our phone number as well. People call us all the time and ask questions. So our phone number is on both of those locations. So I would say to just go to one of those places, and if you want to call, give us a call.
So even if it's a really dumb question, you take the dumb questions?
I get dumb questions all the time. Yeah, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Okay. Definitive answer. There's no dumb questions, which is great to hear because I always seem to have to ask them, but it lets people at home know they can take that step and just ask.
That's right.
Does not hurt to ask. Asking is free. The phone call is mostly free. Just, spend a few minutes.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate you coming in this year. We love to see you on an annual basis, but anytime you want to come back, you let us know.
All right.
Always busy in the recycling world. I know it.
That's right.
So thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form, and be sure you go recycle this holiday season. And we are local people watching local people.